Hello, guys. I'm Timothy Earle from Picks and Parlays and Earle Sports Bets, and welcome back to another edition of Ballin' Out with Tim Earle. Today, we've got some basketball games to talk about because we got three more in the NBA playoffs, and then we're not doing baseball today. We got two games in the NHL, and we'll bring in Nick for those in a couple of minutes. Before we jump into it, if you guys are interested in the baseball plays, there wasn't any up today because there was only 7 games. Me and Nick really didn't agree on anything, so it is what it is there. But NBA and MLB week passes are up on the thing, picksandparlays.net/Tim, if you're interested in grabbing any of those. Let's roll into it. The Celtics are 5-point favorites against the Hawks to start it off with a total of 228 in this game. You got the Celtics who are up 2-0 in the series after 2 dominant victories where they won by 13 and they won by 13. Both those games, they were 10-point favorites. Now it's down to a 5, and I'm going to go down with the ship. I'm taking the Hawks again, plus the 5 at home. It was kind of looked like the same deal as what the Nets did with the Sixers tonight, although that game they did not cover the spread, and it kind of was a little bit frustrating, but it is what it is. I think Atlanta can cover the spread, if not have a chance to win this game outright, so we'll take the Hawks plus the 5. We'll go over to Cleveland and New York. The Knicks are 2-point favorites with a total of 211.5. And for this one, I think the first game was a fluke that the Knicks won. I think Cleveland's the better team. And I'm going to grab Cleveland to take a 2-1 series lead and put themselves back into the favor because they did lose a game at home. I think Cleveland's the better team here. I think they're going to be able to get the job done. I think the Knicks are still one guy off from being able to make a deep run. We'll take the Cleveland Cavaliers in this one. And the final game that we'll talk about is the Denver Nuggets and the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Nuggets are 2.5-point favorites. 223 is the total in this one. And on one side, we get a team that's even 500. And on the other side, we get the team that I think is the best team in the NBA, or the best team in the West, at least. And I'm taking the Nuggets. I think the Nuggets sweep this series. And we've seen it. If a team's going to win, they're going to cover. I think Denver Nuggets win, and I think they cover. I think they win by double digits again. This is a Denver team that's looked really strong throughout the playoffs. We just saw Jamal Murray drop 40 points, starting to look like Bubble Murray again, which is great to see. Porter's contributing, and Gordon's contributing. So it's not just the Jokic show, which is fantastic to see. I think the Nuggets take care of business. I think they sweep. The Timberwolves will take them minus the 2.5. Now, we're not going to go over all the NHL games, but we will bring in Nick. We'll start you off with the Boston Bruins and the Florida Panthers. I'll let you take it away, and I'll click along while you talk about this one, and then the Dallas Stars and the Minnesota Wild. So, Nick, Bruins, Panthers, go ahead.
Yeah, we're going to be looking at this for matchup first. And when we look at these two teams, everybody sees what the Boston Bruins did in the regular season. We all saw what they did in the regular season. They broke the points record all time and all that fun jazz, best regular season. I think they're very vulnerable to getting upset in this first round. I'm taking the Panthers here in game 3 at plus 133, plus 135 range. This is the Panthers team that was pretty good at home. They were 23-13-5 at home, so they're a better home team than they are a road team. Now, don't get me wrong. Obviously, Boston was really strong on the road, 31-8-2. But when you take a look at it here, 5-on-5 this season, the Boston Bruins were not the best team expected goals-wise. They weren't even number 2 or number 3. They were number 7. Number 6 is the Panthers. So 5-on-5, the Panthers were the better expected goal team this year. And when we look at it in all situations, the Boston Bruins were the number 6 team. So they won a lot of games, but I think it's going to show in the playoffs that they may not be as good as we think they are. I'm going to take a shot with the Panthers here in game 3. Moving on to the final matchup here, the Stars and the Wild. The Stars are minus 115 favorites with a total of 5.5 in this game. I might take the Minnesota Wild in this game at minus 105. They opened up around a plus 105 to now they've gone to a minus 105. So you can play the dog to favorite thing there, or hitting that minus 105 mark. But looking at it here, Minnesota was a really strong home team this year, 25-12-4. Now I did have Dallas minus 1 in game 2. I like Minnesota in 7 in this series, and I think this is the game that Minnesota takes. I think they win both games here in Minnesota, go up 3-1. Dallas takes game 4, and potentially Minnesota wins in 6. If not, I think they win in 7. So I think Minnesota wins this game, takes a 2-1 series lead against the Dallas Stars.
There we go. We get a little bit of hockey playoff action as well. So great to see that. Quick little recap before we do everything. Hawks, Cavs, and Denver from me. Nick's going with the Panthers and the Wild as well. If you guys are interested in grabbing any of the plays from me and Nick, you can get the MLB or the NBA. Both of those are linked in the description below. picksandparlays.net/Tim. That's going to do it for this edition of Ballin' Out with Tim Earle and with Nick today. Good luck, guys. Let's make some money. Let's cash some bets in the playoffs, NBA, and the NHL. Good luck, guys.